Welcome to Fear-Free Friday with an awesome quote from Dale Carnegie. He says, "Inaction breeds doubt and fear. Action breeds confidence and courage." If you want to conquer fear, do not sit at home and doubt and think about it. Go out and get busy. Go out and do something. Go out and take massive action. Wholeheartedly agree with that quote from Mr. Carnegie. Love that. Hi there. My name is Christopher D'Armani, and it is my pleasure, it is my passion to empower nonfiction authors just like you, so you can turn your dream of writing a book into your published reality. Because as I say regularly, if I can do this, oh my goodness, anybody can. Yes, including you. So this is what we're going to play with today. A little bit of Dale Carnegie gold. The hardest part of anything is the beginning. Think about it. You know, getting up in the morning can be the hardest part, right? So can sitting down to write. That can be the hardest part. Human nature is to fear the unknown because that's just how our brains are wired. And in the beginning, this fear of the unknown can be massive because we don't have all the answers. What we haven't figured out is we don't need all the answers. We really don't. But of course, self-doubt is biggest at this point because we feel we're not ready. Newsflash. We're never going to be ready. We're never going to be ready for the big moments of our life. That's a fact. So when you hear yourself saying things like, "I'll write when I know what to write," or something like, "I'll write after I do some more research. I need to do more research so I can just make sure this is great. I'll write when I feel inspired." This is one of my favorite ones because it's all bullshit. All of it. Lies, every single one of them. Because you won't write when you feel inspired. You won't write after you do more research because that's just procrastination. And what was my first one? Oh yeah. You're not going to know what to write until you actually start. That's the crazy thing about writing a first draft is you have no idea what this thing is going to look like until you're at the end. So since that's the reality of it, you can't possibly know what it's going to look like until you're at the end. How about you take some really massive action and just sit down and write and start the darn thing. See where it goes. There's power in that. There is great power in just sitting down and doing the thing that you know you're put here on this earth to do. For me, that's to write. If I'm not writing, I'm basically not happy. But just remember this too. Courage is the antidote to fear in any area of your life. In any area of your life. Courage is the antidote to fear. Courage is also the pathway to confidence, oddly enough. And courage is how you reach the end of publication highway unscathed with that published book in your hand. It's through courage. It's through courage. So if you want to feel courageous today and you're not really feeling it, here's something you could try. Really radical idea. Sit down and write. That's it. Pull out your pen and your notepad or fire up your computer or speak it into your phone, whatever works best for you, but sit down and start. That's all that's required. Honestly, that's all that's required. You want to feel inspired? Hey, here's a really great idea for getting inspired every time you sit down to write. Start writing. Sit down and write. Because I have yet to be inspired before I start writing. I don't think I've ever been inspired before I start writing. But boy, once I sit down there and get those first, 15, 20 words of garbage out of my head, more often than not, some really amazing things go on. And it's all because I was willing, all because I was courageous, willing to do the thing that was put in front of me to do, and that is to sit down and write. So I highly encourage you to try that for yourself and see if you can recreate the same magic that have been able to do. Because your courage is going to uncover that self-confidence that you have, but it's just been hidden. Courage is the way to uncover all of that magic inside you. So embrace your day with courage. Embrace your writing with courage. Embrace who you are with courage. It's the best way to live. Fear and self-doubt are just bullies, honestly. They're just bullies. The only way to defeat any bully is to stand up to them. And the second you do, maybe 2 minutes, but as soon as you stand up to a bully, what do they typically do? They go, oh, well, sorry, I didn't mean it. I'll go harass that other jerk over there somewhere. They leave you alone. That's what bullies do. They leave you alone once they realize that they can't win, that you're going to stand up to them, and that they might look like idiots. Yeah, they run and hide. So your fear is the same thing. It's just a bully that wants to browbeat you into submission. Don't let it. Don't let it. Don't give that the fear and the self-loathing, the self-whatever. Don't give it a chance to get a toehold in your mind. You can't afford that. You have a book to write. You have a book to write. You can't afford to be sitting there in fear. You need to sit down and write, no matter what. No matter what. Schedule your writing sessions every single day. I talk about this all the time. This is one of my favorite tools. Schedule my writing sessions. Show up at the appointed hour. Write. Yeah, whether I feel like it or not. Because here's the secret. How I feel about writing is completely irrelevant. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if I'm overjoyed to write. It doesn't matter if I hate the thought of writing. Whatever I'm feeling and whatever that moment is completely irrelevant. The only thing that matters is that I sit down and I start. And once those words start flowing out of my brain and onto the page in front of me, then the magic begins. And it'll do the same thing for you. You just need to start. So schedule those writing sessions. Super important thing to do. Why? Because it builds a habit. It builds that habit of success every single day. Even if it's only for 15 minutes or a half hour or whatever the time slot you can set aside in your life. I can't speak to what that is for you. Only you know that. But hear me on this. Whatever that time in your life is, approach it honestly. Because you probably have more time than you think you have. And I can guarantee you're way more capable than you think you are. We all are. There's not a human being on this planet. I don't care. The most amazing brain on the planet is using maybe 10% of their total ability at best. So when I say that we're all capable of far more than we think we are, it's true. I want to go back to Roger Bannister because it's just a beautiful story of this, a representation of this. The whole running world knew that running a 4-minute mile was impossible. The human body could not do it. And then Roger Bannister did it. And within weeks, other people were doing it too, because now he had kicked open those doors of possibility so wide that, oh my goodness, I can do that too. You can do this too. I can write a book, my goodness. As I said before, anybody can. Truly. Fear and self-doubt are powerless against that kind of courage. They really are. They're powerless against that kind of commitment. They're powerless against that kind of determination that no matter what, I will get this first draft finished. And when I'm done that, then I'm going to fill in all the holes that I find, and I'm going to make it even better. And then I'm going to do it again, and then I'm going to publish that sucker, and it's going to change lives. You approach a book that way, there's nothing going to stop you. It can't. It's impossible. It's what I like to call making your book publishing journey inevitable. Courage is the pathway to make your published book inevitable. So hopefully that's been useful for you today. If it was, I'd love for you to like it and share it with your family and your friends. And if something jumped out at you particularly, please share it in the comments. I'd love to hear it. And I would also love for you to connect with me on social media. All of my accounts, LinkedIn, connect with me on LinkedIn and everything else. All of those links can be found at authorcoach.click/Christopher. So with that, have a fantastic rest of your day. And as Dale Carnegie says so well, go out and get busy. It's your life. It's your book. You're the only one that can do it. All right. So with that, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll talk to you again tomorrow at 3 o'clock. Bye for now.